And now for the view from Lebanon, we can head to Beirut and speak to the Lebanese MP and former Deputy Prime Minister Ghassan Hasbani. Good morning. Welcome to the programme. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
So look, President Trump has said now he's had a severe call with Israel's Netanyahu, and now he says no Israeli troops can go into Beirut. Have you any faith, though, in this phone call?
Well, the situation is actually more complicated than this. The Israelis had threatened to target the suburbs of Beirut, the stronghold of Hezbollah headquarters, if Hezbollah continued to target Israel's towns and settlements in the north. And that was basically the condition that after calls between the Lebanese authorities and the United States administration, we ended up with effectively averting the suburbs of Beirut such an attack and the de-escalation of the conflict, with the promise from Hezbollah that they would cease the targeting of the Israeli towns. Yet this has not been really cemented and clarified as how it will be implemented and whether it will hold for a long time. This morning it has been quieter than the last few days, of course. But it is unclear whether the Israelis will continue their operations in the south of Lebanon on the ground against Hezbollah, or whether they will simply cease all operations based on this US request to clear the way for the Lebanese-Israeli discussions in Washington.
And that's the big concern. Is a real ceasefire actually taking shape? Because we're seeing clashes still ongoing despite all those announcements, and also 2 Israeli soldiers killed just by Hezbollah.
Yes, indeed. I think the impression here on the ground is that the ceasefire would probably be limited to not targeting the Beirut suburb, if it holds. But the operations on the ground in the south seem to be continuing against Hezbollah, who incidentally was the one who restarted this confrontation by sending rockets to Israel upon the assassination of the Khamenei.
And what about the Israelis? Do you trust the Israelis to stop the killings? We haven't heard now from Netanyahu after that phone call last night with President Trump.
I don't trust any side to stop anything, because Hezbollah is an Iranian faction on Lebanese territory. Their actions are being largely dictated by the war that's ongoing today. And they are effectively a militarized force outside the Lebanese government control on the Eastern Mediterranean, controlled by Iran. And they are at war with Israel. So it's not the Lebanese state that's at war with Israel at this point. And effectively what the Lebanese state is trying is to de-escalate and avert or avoid further destruction in Lebanon in a war that is not for Lebanon to be part of anyway.
And describe now the situation on the ground in Lebanon. It got from bad to worse recently.
Indeed, it got worse, and we had effectively a cessation of hostilities for about 15 months before it restarted in March, as I said, as Hezbollah restarted targeting Israel. It was essentially a fragile ceasefire on the premise that Hezbollah would be fully dismantled by the Lebanese government. This was happening, but at a much slower pace than expected, given the limited capabilities available with the Lebanese armed forces. But the war in Iran triggered a new attack from Hezbollah towards Israel, which led to a further escalation that we are seeing right now. So it's very difficult to tell how this will end. But it is very important to know that the Lebanese government has announced Hezbollah to be an illegal entity, the military activities of Hezbollah to be completely illegal. And today it is about how can the Lebanese government control all of its territory and establish its sovereignty with the help of its supporting countries, and to control the decision on war and peace, so that we can avoid such a situation happening in the future where militarized factions on Lebanese territory can pull the trigger at any point in time and drag Lebanon into a war with Israel again.
And on that point, do you feel supported on the international stage, or do you feel completely isolated?
No, right now there's great support, particularly coming from the United States administration. We rarely have this kind of attention at the highest possible level, which is the president in this instance. We have the support of the European Union and the European countries individually to bring about stability and peace to Lebanon and to control any activities on Lebanese territory by the Lebanese government so that the country can recover, we can reconstruct what was destroyed, and we can exit from an economic and financial crisis that we have been struggling with for many years, even before the conflict started.
But as you said earlier, you do not trust the Israelis at this point. What do you think their end game is here with their military incursion?
I do not trust neither the Israelis nor the Iranians to stop this conflict until there is a clear resolution to the arms outside the Lebanese government control. Effectively, Lebanon for more than 70 years has been struggling with this, struggling with militarized factions on its territory outside the Lebanese government control, launching attacks on Israel and Israel retaliating and invading, then withdrawing, then invading again. So this has been an ongoing situation for many, many years that Lebanon cannot sustain. So basically, what we need to have is stability in Lebanon, and the Lebanese government in full control of its territory so that it would be part of the international law and protected by international law.
OK, Mr. Hasbani, thank you so much for taking the time out this morning to speak to us here live on Europe Today.